We're going to answer this question before us. It's saying solve the square root of 2 cos of x is equal to -1 for x is an element of -2 pi to 2 pi. So take note of the fact that our domain is going backwards and forwards there. That's going to make things a little bit more interesting. What we're also going to have to do is rearrange this. So it's going to be cos of x is equal to -1 on the square root of 2. After we've done that, we're going to have to figure out what our reference angle is going to be. So for what angle of cos will I get 1 on the square root of 2 out? Remember, you're just ignoring that negative for the time being. We know that it's going to be pi on 4 straight away because 1 on the square root of 2 is only ever produced by pi on 4. And then after we've done that, we're now going to have to figure out the actual values of theta. Before we launch into that, it is helpful to draw for yourself a little unit circle just to see which quadrants that you're living in. So I'm dealing with cos, right? That means I'm dealing with my x, and I've got -1 on the square root of 2, so that would be about here. So that means I'm dealing with my second and my third quadrant. Okay, so in my second quadrant, what is pi on 4? It's going to be 3 pi on 4. In my third quadrant, what's pi on 4? It's going to be 5 pi on 4. So I've satisfied the 0 to 2 pi domain now, but now I need to go backwards. So what I've done is I've gone here to here, right? But it's also saying that we need to consider -2 pi. So that means I also have to think about, if I can grab this color, that one and that one. Now you can probably pretty much just see that straight away that we're going to be -3 pi and -5 pi on 4 just by visualizing it. The other way to figure it out is to subtract 2 pi from them. But as I said, if you got your unit circle here, it's quite clear that that's -3 pi on 4 and that's -5 pi on 4, but we'll do it this way as well. So that means I'm taking 3 pi on 4, so you don't have to write this working out over here, and I'm subtracting from it 2 pi, which is the same as subtracting, because remember I'm going to times that by 4 and that by 4, it's going to be 8 pi on 4. 3 minus 8 is -5 pi on 4. So here, -5 pi on 4, and that's what we said before. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take 3 pi on 4 and subtract 8 pi on 4 from it. And 5 pi on 4, subtract 8 pi on 4 from it. I'm going to get -3 pi on 4. So again, if you had your unit circle, you really didn't have to do this, but it's important that you know that this is what you're doing as well to figure that out. So those are your solutions. So the moral of the story here is just be aware of your domain and how that's going to affect things. Hopefully you were successful with this question.